Aidan, can I invite you to join us? Is Aidan around?
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Catherine. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. Yes, we can hear you, Aidan.
Great, thanks very much. Okay, so this is another surprise topic, and what I've done is just to pick one activity that I've been running, which I really like, which is a set of kits to build cloud chambers. And so in case you haven't come across cloud chambers before, they're cutting edge particle detector technology from about 100 years ago, invented here in Scotland by CTR Wilson. And just very briefly, the way that they work is by putting a volatile liquid in a high temperature gradient, so that you get a layer of supersaturated vapor, which is then a bit unstable. And so if a high energy particle, like a cosmic ray muon, goes through, then the small amount of ionization that you get along the way is enough to nucleate liquid droplets inside the supersaturated gas. And so then if you shine just some torchlight onto that, then you get reflection from the droplets, which you don't get just from the vapor. And so the particles track is revealed. Now this is well known. You may well have seen big cloud chamber sets, for example, in science museums, but you can do this on a small scale in the lab, just with a plastic pint cup and some foil, some very pure ethanol and some dry ice. And that's also well known, but what we discovered was that success is quite sensitive to the details of the things that you use. So you need cups that are really quite clear, and given the size of the cup, you need the foil to come, sort of particular distance up the side of the cup, and so on. And then furthermore, places like schools where we've found it difficult to get the right sort of pure enough ethanol, and in particular dry ice. So what we did was to put together a set of kits to make these pint cup sized cloud chambers. So each box, as you see the plastic box there, each box contains enough for 10 sets, and everything that's needed is there. And then we provide the dry ice alongside. And on the bottom right here, you see the sort of IKEA style, how to build this cloud chamber out of the bits and pieces. So typically a session devotes maybe 20 minutes or half an hour to following these steps and putting this all together. And so you set the foil and the cup on top of the dry ice, and then once everybody's ready, you start to turn the lights down in the room, at which point everyone normally goes pretty quiet. I'm not really sure why that's the effect, but that's what we see. And people are generally a bit skeptical, because they've taken a cup and things that are manifestly just ordinary bits and pieces, they put it together, they don't really know what they're looking for. So you turn the lights down, and then people start to see particle tracks, and you get people shouting across the room, there's one, I've seen one, I've got one. And it's really exciting. And for me, the experience of actually building this thing yourself, it's a very personal experience, unlike plugging in somebody else's cloud chamber apparatus and seeing what happens. And this is a very personal experience, which I think provokes really quite profound questions, because you see these particle tracks, and you can't not want to know what's going on. What are these things? And at the point then when you understand that these particles are going through you all the time, and this rather simple apparatus is just revealing them, you can begin to get to some quite deep concepts. So we've done this in a variety of contexts. So there's a picture here of me delivering it directly in a classroom setting. We've done it in various science festivals, so particularly the Glasgow Science Festival. But I saw that Alan Walker is also connected, and he's taken it up to Howie in Orkney. Abby Powell is connected. She's incorporated it into a nuclear physics masterclass in Glasgow, and we've done it in all sorts of places. But for me, I think the most successful mode of delivery has been to train teachers and then let teachers take the kits as loan kits themselves into schools. So the way I've done this is to run evening sessions, continuous professional learning sessions for teachers, which have been a bit of an introduction to particle physics, and then to go on to train teachers in the use of the kits, at which point they can be registered to to then be able to use our online booking system and come and collect the kits the night before they want to use them in school. And then return them. And if you search through Twitter, you'll see lots of nice pictures and little videos that some of my teacher colleagues have done. So in this way, through the professional learning sessions, we're really supporting the teachers, and it's an opportunity to bring teachers a bit up to date with what's happening in particle physics, give them a bit of a deeper understanding. We're supporting the curriculum delivery in the sense that I think you can talk about particle physics in a very abstract way, and you talk about quarks and muons and so on and so on, and it's all just very remote. It's completely detached from everyone's experience, and it's difficult to bring that to life in the classroom. And this is a very direct way of doing that. And so we hope also to inspire the pupils with that. And depending on the audience, you can go a bit further and really relate it directly to what's happening in our particle physics experiments, for example, at CERN today, because this picture of tracks in the ATLAS detector at the Large Hadron Collider, it's easy to see the step then from the cloud chamber tracks that we've seen to that. So recently this has been a bit paused during the pandemic. So first of all, because we haven't been in the department to be able to put the kits together, check them, get the dry ice, put it all together and issue them. And then also sharing kits just now has felt a bit more difficult, but I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to restart soon. I regularly get requests from teachers, so I think we just need to develop a sanitary protocol for the kits, and I hope that we'll be able to restart that soon. Okay, so that's my example of just a particular activity really close to my research that I think is great in schools, and I hope other people might be interested. And what I meant to say is right now we've got 2 or 3 kits based in Glasgow and also 2 kits based in Edinburgh. So the reach is a little bit expanded. Okay, that's me. Thanks.
Thank you.